It was a scythe, a 6-foot-long blade curved like a crescent moon, with a wooden handle wrapped in leather. The blade glinted 2 different colors, steel and bronze. It was the weapon of Kronos, the one he'd used to slice up his father, Orianos, before the gods had taken it away from him and cut Kronos into pieces, casting him into Tartarus. Now the weapon was reforged. "We must sanctify it in blood," the Telekine said. "Then you, half-blood, shall help present it when the Lord awakens." I ran towards the fortress, my pulse pounding in my ears. I didn't want to get anywhere close to that horrible black mausoleum, but I knew what I had to do. I had to stop Kronos from rising. This might be my only chance. I dashed through a dark foyer into the main hall. The floor shined like a mahogany piano, pure black and yet full of light. Black marble statues lined the walls. I didn't recognize the faces, but I knew I was looking at the images of the titans who ruled before the gods. At the end of the room, between 2 bronze braziers, was the dais, and on the dais, the golden sarcophagus. The room was silent except for the crackling of fires. Luke wasn't there. No guards, nothing. It was too easy, but I approached the dais. The sarcophagus was just like I remembered, about 10 feet long, much too big for a human. It was carved with elaborate scenes of death and destruction, pictures of the gods being trotted under chariots, temples and famous world landmarks being smashed and burned. The whole coffin gave off an aura of extreme cold, like I was walking into a freezer. My breath began to steam. I drew Riptide and took a little comfort from the familiar weight of the sword in my hand. Whenever I'd approached Kronos before, the evil voice had spoken in my mind. Why was it silent now? He'd been shredded into 1,000 pieces, cut with his own scythe. What would I find if I opened the lid? How could they make a new body for him? I had no answers. I just knew that if he was about to rise, I had to strike him down before he got to his scythe. I had to figure out a way to stop him. I stood over the coffin. The lid was decorated even more intricately than the sides, scenes of carnage and power. In the middle was an inscription carved in letters even older than Greek, the language of magic. I couldn't read it exactly, but I knew what it said. Kronos, Lord of Time. My hand touched the lid. My fingertips turned blue. Frost gathered on my sword. Then I heard noises behind me, voices approaching. It was now or never. I pushed back the golden lid and it fell to the floor with a huge whoom. I lifted my sword, ready to strike. But when I looked inside, I didn't comprehend what I was seeing. Mortal legs dressed in gray pants, a white t-shirt, hands folded over his stomach. One piece of his chest was missing, a clean black hole about the size of a bullet wound, right where his heart should have been. His eyes were closed. His skin was pale. Blonde hair, and a scar running along the left side of his face. The body in the coffin was Luke's. I should have stabbed him right then. I should have brought the point of Riptide down with all my strength. But I was too stunned. I didn't understand. As much as I hated Luke, as much as he'd betrayed me, I just didn't get why he was in the coffin, and why he looked so very, very dead. Then the voices of the Telekines were right behind me. "What has happened?" One of the demons screamed when he saw the lid. I stumbled away from the dais, forgetting that I was invisible, and hid behind a column as they approached. "Careful," the other demon warned. "Perhaps he stirs. We must present the gifts now, immediately." The 2 Telekines shuffled forward and knelt. They were holding up the scythe on its wrapping cloth. "My lord," one of them said, "your symbol of power is remade." Silence. Nothing happened inside the coffin. "You fool," the other Telekine muttered. "He requires a half-blood first." Ethan stepped back. "Whoa, you mean me? He requires me?" "Don't be a coward," First Telekine hissed. "He does not require your death, only your allegiance. Pledge him to your service. Renounce the gods, that is all." "No!" I yelled. It was a stupid thing to do, but I charged into the room, took off the cap. "Ethan, don't!" "Trespasser!" The Telekines bared their teeth. "The master will deal with you soon enough. Hurry, boy!" "Ethan," I pleaded, "don't listen to them. Help me destroy it." Ethan turns towards me, his eye patch blending in with the shadows on his face. His expression was something like pity. "I told you not to spare me, Percy. An eye for an eye. You hear that saying? I learned it, and it means the hard way, when I discovered my godly parents. I'm the child of Nemesis, god of revenge, and this is what I was made to do." He turned towards the dais. "I renounce the gods. What have they ever done for me? I shall see them destroyed. I serve Kronos."